Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 235. Sean, how are we doing tonight?
Great.
Good to have Sean here. How we doing over there, MVG?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
All right, Max, how we doing?
Living the dream.
Okay, Jordan, how you doing?
Fantastic. Glad to be here.
Good. Click, how you doing over there?
Great, let's get this going. I know you guys want to play Halo.
Okay, none of this has to do with Halo going on right now with Big Team Battle. Okay, the testing. All right. We're going to be here for a bit, but just wanted to get moving along. Nate, how you doing?
What?
Good. All right, good. And then we have Evan.
Enjoying the speedy energy, yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, we had fun over the last couple days here with the new Halo Infinite flight they're doing with Big Team Battle, and having a pretty good time with it, I think. Actually, we've been playing it the past today and yesterday, and I mean just having a blast with it. So
we've played a couple hours each day together. It's been crazy.
Yeah, and so what's going on with the monkey ears here?
What are you talking about?
What? Uh-huh.
On you, I got Max, I got MVG.
What was good? What?
Some monkey business afoot here.
Huh?
I think it's because so you guys got the whole package. Sean, did you get it too?
Yeah, I haven't opened it yet, though.
Where are the monkey ears?
They're in the package.
Put on the monkey hat, damn it.
I haven't opened it.
Yeah, I thought about wearing it over my current hat.
They're so cute.
It's for Super Monkey Ball. Yeah, so that's out this week, right? Yeah,
Yep.
It's out the 5th. I was gonna pick it up when it comes out.
Shout outs to Sega.
Seems like everyone has that and the Switch OLED at the same time now, so that's fine. All right, that's fine. So this week we had some interesting stuff happen with Nintendo and Bloomberg. A lot of opinions on that one. We'll go over. Then we had Konami strangely in the news for
Oh God.
Silent Hill. All right,
I've got some things to say about this.
Good. And Metal Gear Solid. And Castlevania, and they put out the most hated game on Steam. So Konami's been busy this week, so it'll be fun. And then we had some Metroid Prime Remaster / remake rumors going around. Something maybe to look forward to next year. So we'll go over all of that here today. Evan, do you want to kick us off with a Discord question? We'll change things up slightly here.
You think the N64 NSO controller expansion port will be the same?
Maybe.
The expansion?
The NSO expansion port. That was literally the question.
What, for like the Rumble pack or
I'm guessing it's
side?
the Rumble pack. We were assuming the battery was going to go in there.
I think it's just going to be hollowed out plastic. I don't think there's going to be anything there. It's just be like a blank spot, I assume, is how I would figure. I mean, it'd be cool if they had like a door where you put the battery, the lithium-ion battery in there. That'd be kind of neat. I don't know. But it'll probably be sealed and that'll just be a blank spot. But it'll still be hollowed out, I bet, to keep that same feel. So you have another one, Evan?
This one might be a little bit better for OJ. Why is the audio mix in anime games always so loud?
Why is the audio mix and
they always tend to be a little bit louder than most other games.
Because the audio gets you hype.
Okay, right there you go. We'll go with that. That'll work. Got another one there, Evan. We'll go into Nintendo and Bloomberg.
Do you think Arc System Works would use their excellent anime shaders on a game that's not a 2.5D fighter?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Why do you say that, Nate?
Why not?
What are they working on?
A new game.
I mean,
a new game.
not just in games. There was an anime that came out recently where their name for their company was in the credits, and I think they had a hand in doing stuff in like background characters and things. So.
Yeah, because their fighters look awesome.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Dragon Ball Fighters looked almost as good as the weird 3D scenes in the Brawly movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
And now they're not using that art animation again with the new Dragon Ball Super movie. They decide to go with, I think it's pure 3D this time.
Yeah, it's gonna be
weird. People aren't too happy about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little strange. We'll see how it turns out, though. I got to see like the full trailer for it and all this. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens. So real quick before we go into some of the topics here, we will be next weekend. I'm not sure what we'll do. Maybe we'll pre-record something. I don't know yet because we're gonna be at a majority of this podcast is going to be at Too Many Games next Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We should have a panel on Saturday. We'll see how all that turns out.
We'll all be able to peek to the other panel across the board.
Yeah. Our first live show. We're actually excited. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it should be fun. That's Oaks, PA.
Yeah.
Next weekend. So if you're around in the area, it's like 15-20 minutes out from Philadelphia, I believe. So if you're in the area, you want to stop by, I think most of us will be there all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at some point. So I'd say Saturday is probably the best day to go out. That's when like the majority of stuff is happening. So that's when I'd make a priority to go. But we're still trying to figure out if Sean's going to go. But I'll be there. Max will be there. Jordan will be there. Evan will be there. Click will be there.
Will be there.
OJ should be there.
Maybe.
Should be. And like I said, Sean's tentative. We're gonna see if Sean is there or not. We're trying to get him out there.
Yeah, I'm dealing with some shit behind the scenes, and it's not fun.
Yes.
Dang, man.
So we'll that, and then maybe next year we'll try to get everyone out there, including MVG and Nate. Nate can have his grand reveal coming to the podcast stage through like the crowd or something.
I would just sit in a crowd and no one would know I'm there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You gonna change your voice?
If I'm in the crowd, I don't have to talk.
No, you could be up in the sound booth with the mic and just reply to us.
Sure.
Swear like a nice blazer. Yeah.
No, I won't. I wear like a sweatshirt.
Nice blazer. I do want to say we're going to be doing the live podcast, and then we're doing like an autograph signing, talk to fans. So if y'all also have ever wanted to come and talk to us or take pictures of us, we're hanging out all day Saturday, so it should be fun.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good time. You should find some cool games.
Yes, I can talk in banjo. People will be like, "Hi, what's your name?" And they're like, "What the?"
Let's go over here too. Okay, so this was fun. Nintendo versus Bloomberg.
Oof.
Oh my goodness.
This was such a weird thing to happen this week because I thought we were past like the Switch Pro 4K. I thought we were like, all right, we'll I'm sure we'll check in on this again next year. But Bloomberg, Takashi Mochizuki, decided he wasn't done this year with this whole thing. Put out a whole report or article saying that there were 11 different studios working on 4K Switch games right now. And I mean, that's a lot of sourcing. MVG, you even quoted it. You said, well, that's a lot of studios to go. And then I believe, I want to say it was Game Reactor. There was another outlet that said that they also had talked to a AAA studio that is working with a 4K dev kit on a Switch game. But I guess in that case, they wouldn't know what system they're putting it on. They just know to prepare their games for 4K. I feel like that's what they said in their report last time, however. So this isn't like necessarily new other than the fact that they found so many studios and that I guess the chip shortage is what affected the release of a 4K Switch of some kind this year even. And then Nintendo came out and said that that's wrong. That's just incorrect. Like it was an hour later. They were obviously aware of it because Bloomberg sought a comment from them. They were looking for one. So they just prepared a statement on Twitter. And I'm curious because MVG, you almost for a minute there seemed like, okay, Bloomberg might have something here.
Mm-hmm.
The way you were responding to it.
I do, because I mean, look at the timeline of this, right? So I think it was back in, when did the original announcement from Mochi come out, Nate? It was like, was it June, I think, or earlier?
The intent?
Yeah. And then when Nintendo first responded, it was May or June, I think.
The response was in July because that was for the
it was
material.
Yeah, and it was a week before E3, right? Because remember there was a talk about maybe a model being announced before E3.
Yes.
So this is like Mochi basically clapping back with receipts almost. That look, we've got 11 developers that have told us that they have a Switch 4K dev kit. So I think, you have to kind of take notice of this now. You don't just say we have 11 developers. I mean, he's obviously gone around and got a lot of information about this. And of course, Nintendo's going to deny it. Like, they're going to deny it. Even if it was the day before an announcement, they would deny it because that's what they have to do. They have to make shareholders happy. They have to keep them comfortable, and they have to promote the OLED model, which is what they're doing.
But the weird thing is, Zynga, they asked Zynga about it, and Zynga said, no, we don't have a 4K dev kit. This was a spokesperson from Zynga.
But I mean, of course they're going to say that.
If you're Zynga, MVG, and you're working there, and they're like, hey, someone wants to know if we have this dev kit. It's right next to the PC right here, but we should say we don't have it, right? That's the correct response.
Yeah, well, I mean, the PR people may not even be aware that they have a dev kit. I mean, they may not even know about it. Like, they may not be familiar with the ins and outs of the tech team there, right? So I just thought, it was a pretty good response from Mochi on this occasion, and I think on this one, he really has come back with some, with the receipts on this. Now, of course, none of these 11 developers are going to put their hand up and say yes, it's us, right?
Yeah,
because that would be breaking NDA, and that would be bad for them. But I think you have to really pay attention to this story now. That there is more to this than just Bloomberg, basically making up rumors, because a lot of people believe that's what was happening the first time round. They weren't really believing the story, but now you have to really think, well, maybe there is something going on behind the scenes, now that they've done all this investigative research on the product,
I will say I feel bad for Zynga, like them being the only one
they got called
named. Like that to me, that's kind of shitty.
But don't you
clear, Zynga would have given permission to name them. They named them, so they knew their source knew the risk by allowing Mochi to name Zynga as a company in possession of a 4K dev kit.
I mean, that's fine, but I don't know.
Well, I think the thing is that source was willing to go semi on the record. I mean, and this report has made me believe that there is some sort of Switch Pro or Switch 2 dev kit at least, but who knows? I mean, I liked it. I liked that article ended with that giant caveat of "this may never come out." Like, I just loved it. Like, last sentence is like, they may cancel it. Who knows?
Well, I think the main thing to take away is once you factor in that that patent that was just discovered with Nintendo doing upscaling up to 4K, that's literally just about verbatim of how DLSS works from NVIDIA, which is what I think all of us anticipated the system becoming. I feel like, I've gone back and forth on it because obviously I've been making videos out the ass on it, including one video got a yellow monetization thing, and I didn't make jack shit on it because YouTube's fucking stupid, and I still don't know why. They said it was because of violence. Violence? I don't have violence. I can show violence, YouTube, if you want to go down. No, I'm just kidding. No, I have no idea. But yeah, like at first it was kind of like, well, maybe Bloomberg's just trying to cover their ass, but you always had to factor in that, Nintendo's not going to come out and say, oh yeah, well, yeah, we are doing it. And Zynga's not going to come out and say, oh yeah, we are doing it. But then when you factor in that recently discovered patent, it's like something is happening. It may have gotten delayed. It may have gotten delayed to the point of where it's utilized in a full-on successor, not just an upgrade, because you're starting to get to the point timeline-wise where, we're talking 5-6 years. The Switch will be on the market for 5 years. It's like, well, you got to kind of start looking at somewhat of a successor, I would think. It's going to be very interesting because Nintendo could theoretically do something next year with this technology. And, how much of an upgrade would you really need to do in terms of the hardware side of things if you have this artificial intelligence doing the bulk of the work for you, if Nintendo is able to make it a very simple process? So there's a lot of questions. I feel like there's more questions now than there was before this article came out, because this article really shone a different light on it. And then when you factor in that patent thing, like something's brewing, it's just a matter of when. And I think if it's not next year, in my personal opinion, make it a successor. Don't make it an upgrade to your current model.
Yeah. Well, that's where I think that's where people are misreading the article. There is no mention of a revision. There is no mention of the word Pro. The article is simply stating that developers have access to a dev kit for a new Switch with 4K capabilities.
Well, the thing that's strange about that is it was mentioned on Twitter. I think it was by Michael Sayers, who's very familiar with the firmware, saying that Nintendo, it wouldn't be a very clear path for Nintendo to just make this stuff backwards compatible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've talked about this before on the Nate the Hate show. Like, trying to do back compat would be really difficult, and I'm not sure how they would solve for that, other than maybe just putting an X1 chip, in whatever this hardware is, or I don't even know, right? So, but I guess that also kind of points to more evidence that maybe this is not a revision, maybe this is just something else, right? That we will get to see a year from now, 2 years from now, we don't know.
I have a question for you, MVG. As a developer, So essentially, in your mind, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, so correct me if I'm wrong. It wouldn't be the current library of games that we have. You couldn't just like drag and drop this to be utilized with it. You would actually have to go into the games to make it functional.
Correct. You'd have to patch. You have to patch every single game, right? Yeah. So that's where it gets interesting.
I mean, they could go down the road of the more successful games. You do a patch for them, and then leave it up to third party and indie companies. Here's
I mean, there is
or you drop an X1. You just put an X1
if they have an X1 integrated into the architecture of this platform, then it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant.
They've done it before.
Exactly. The Wii U had an ingrained Wii.
That's true.
The 3DS and the DS. It has the DS chips in there. I mean, it's Nintendo's done this before.
Well, I feel like they'd get to the point now where Nvidia and Nintendo would realize, the next Switch will probably do really well too, so we can build a custom chip now.
Well, let's just do that. Thing is that Nintendo and Nvidia can look at a game plan and say, the custom chip you are creating, we need to have some sort of functionality that makes it compatible with the X1 architecture, where we are going to get backwards compatibility. It's not that it is impossible. It will just require a little bit of work from both sides to make it a reality. And that's where, in the case of a lot of data miners, is yes, they're giving us a painting, but they're giving us just a small subsection of what the full picture is going to be. Skyer's information isn't so much inaccurate as it is simply a small representation of a grander scheme of things. So there's value in what he is saying, but it shouldn't be taken as anything that's written in stone. It's giving the idea based on
it's one probability.
There are ways to work around it to allow for backwards compatibility.
Sure, and it also makes me feel like whatever this is a longer term thing than maybe what we realize, right? Because maybe Nintendo hasn't even thought about how they're going to deal with that side. They're just focusing on 4K Switch games, right? So because developers aren't going to be worried about how to get their existing games running via backward compatibility. They've been given a 4K dev kit to build 4K Switch games. So I think, however they solve for that may come later down the line, right? So I think, and there's different ways to address that at the end of the day. So I'm sure we'll hear about it when the time comes.
I don't know if Nintendo would want to move on from this current Switch so fast right now. I mean, I feel like they just want to build on that platform.
Yep.
It could be like an iPhone situation. And I mean, no gaming company has really done that before, but I mean, is that to say that it's not? Because if you think about it, if they keep that's the Switch moniker and they just add a system to it in a year or two, that's not a successor, it's still within the Switch family, it's just essentially better, then you're starting to take those system sales and conglomerate them all into one. And it's a road that nobody's been down before, but in the current landscape, I mean, if you're able to do it with these upgrades where it's like, I mean, I think the OLED is a perfect example. The OLED is kind of pointless if you don't play your system in handheld mode. There's absolutely no benefit. The only benefit would be the dock, and then you could just buy the dock separately.
Yeah.
So I think Nintendo should get to a point of where they're selling these systems without a dock. You know what I'm saying?
They did that in Japan, surprisingly, but they never introduced it into the other markets.
I think that would make, I mean, if you wanted, I mean, let's be realistic here. You could buy an off-brand dock for $25-30, and I know there was a big hubbub over it originally, but I have been using one for well over a year just because I want to have one at my desk when I'm recording footage, and I've had zero issues.
I think they solved that issue a little while ago. So
so it's like think of how much money you could take off of the price of the system if you just got rid of the dock and these bundles. You could still have the bundles that come with the dock, but make that a secondary option. Don't make it the primary option.
See, I guess that's where they view the Switch Lite.
Exactly.
Okay.
I was about to say they did.
Yeah, but that thing
Switch Lite
smells.
they need a Switch Lite OLED. That's what they need.
Oh yeah,
that would make a lot of sense.
Update the Switch version or the Lite version for sure. But I also feel like if they sold it just without if they sold it without the dock, I feel like people would complain about it a little bit. I feel like people would be like, "This is incomplete. This isn't a full product. Like you need it with the dock." So I think they only left it with the Lite.
And you are somewhat right, because think of the outrage when they did the 3D, the new 3DS
without the charger.
Okay, that was funny though, because they're like, "What do you need the charger for?" It's like to charge the system.
But you already have one, right?
No, I mean,
like that's the mindset. Like someone be like, "No, I don't have a dock already. Like this is my first Switch. Like I haven't had one yet. Like you have one? No."
Yeah, I mean, you expect a charger in there.
In Japan, aren't they selling like just the Switch screen in Japan? Didn't they have like a weird box set that had like no Joy-Cons or anything?
That's what Nate was mentioning. They actually stripped out a lot of the parts from the bundle itself that we had here in Japan to lower the price.
Yeah, Nintendo's like official web store in Japan was selling just a tablet. And it was surprising they didn't introduce it in North America or even in Europe, because there was definitely a market for that, but it's probably a logistics thing where they have the data that suggests a very low percentage of people would have done that in those regions, while Japan may have been looking at it in the case of, we're a single household, we have 5 Switches, we don't need 5 docks, give us an alternative means of purchasing a Switch.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like you just end up with a bunch of docks. Like you end up with like 6 docks or something if you have like a whole household and you're trying to buy everybody a Switch or something.
It's true. There's like 4 docks in my house and only 2 Switches.
So is that where we are now? Nintendo may have wanted to already release this thing, but the chip shortage pushed it back.
Well, the article suggests this much, where Mochi spoke with a person familiar with Nintendo's hardware plans, and they said the reason that the 4K model did not launch in 2021 is because of the semiconductor shortage. They could not feasibly get this console manufactured to meet demand and bring it to market this year. And we know that this is going to be a problem ongoing even into 2022, possibly into 2023. So Nintendo, even Sony and Microsoft have to face this challenge moving forward. And we don't know the ramifications it's going to have on the industry in the long term. So this is something that all console manufacturers really have to face and try to find a solution to. And I believe it was tweeted last night by David Gibson that if you're noticing a significant sellout of Switch in any country, be it Japan or even North America and Europe, it's because a lot of their manufacturing now is done in Vietnam. And Vietnam has been hit with a massive wave of COVID cases, and it has slowed down production considerably.
Yeah, but they moved it there from China, I believe, so that they
could get increased production. And now they're getting hit with COVID there, and it's hurting their production for this holiday.
Yeah, they can't win. True. They're trying to figure it out. I feel like that's something. Yeah, that would actually be a really bad message to investors, to be like, yeah, this system sells a lot, and we'd like to make another one, but we can't. Like they'd be like, oh well, I guess we'll go elsewhere until you can. Like that's a tough message just to try to convey without damaging your stock. So I who knows? I'm wondering if next year is going to be when we hear about rumblings for a next gen Switch. I feel like we'd be getting to that point because it'd be we'd be coming up on holiday 2022 and then coming up on the 6th year that the Switch has been out overall. We complete the 6th anniversary for it. So I feel like then we start talking, okay, what's next for the Switch? Revision, new one. But it's certainly an interesting week with all of that, and the patents that released as well. So that was funny because the patents came out as Nintendo was saying this isn't real. Like we're not doing any of that. Right. And then the patents go public, and it's like, wow, that is. I almost wondered if Mochizuki knew this or something, but there was no way he could know that. So he lucked out same day all that happened.
Well, could he? I feel like he did know about it.
Maybe you think so?
The timing was impeccable, honestly. Yeah.
It was very weird because as Nintendo was saying nope, and it just went live, and it's like, wow, okay, so you guys were working on patents for upscaling techniques through AI, and then also naming tensor cores from NVIDIA in that same patent. So looks like DLSS to me there. So there you go, Nate.
It reminded me of that old gif of Leslie Nielsen standing in front of a burning building, and he's like, nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here.
That was pretty much it right there. Yeah. Let's go. Evan, you want to hit us with a Discord question there?
Got a Jordan question. Have you seen Free Guy? And if so, what did you think about it?
I have not watched it yet. I think it comes out on like Blu-ray and whatnot next month. So I'll check, or actually this month in like 2 weeks or something. So yeah, I'll check it out soon.
Yeah, Jordan is a collector of Blu-rays.
He's a Blu-ray guy.
Yeah, you have quite a few of them, don't you?
Yeah, just about.
It was a fun movie, though. I think overall.
Yeah. Did you see it in theaters, Click?
I did. It was a little chaotic and a little like kind of tropey about the gamer scheme. Like it's cool, like seeing like other streamers featured in there, but I feel like at one point it was almost like, let's throw all the words that apply to gamers in the movie, and then gamers will be happy. So like they threw all the words in there.
Log in there.
Like they said the word troll like 8 times in the same like 5 minutes. I'm like, good. Like they threw the word troll in there. Okay, like we're tech savvy. I get it, but like it was funny. Like I think they made like the head of the development team. He was like a millionaire or something like that, and he was like helping work on the game or something. They made him like a tool bag. I just thought it was so funny. I'm like, this is not how dev teams work, but whatever. MVP, where's your Lambo, man?
Where's my Lambo?
Where's your Lambo?
Need to get one.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, you could evidently run a video game store and get an Audi R8.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah.
Did any of you try the new Hot Wheels game, and how does it compare to Cruising Blast or Trackmania?
I've heard very, very good things about it.
I played like 30 minutes of the new Hot Wheels game before the stuff started up. I mean, from what I was playing, you still get like blind boxes, and when you open them, you get a new car. Basically, so they have like a loot box mechanic in there. I didn't dive in to see if they have like the full microtransactions attached. I assume they're in there somewhere. But the bit of it that I played, you are going around loops, and right now they threw you into like a bedroom with like, you know, all the stuff from like a little kid's bedroom, kind of like just left around on the floor while you're driving around as these little Hot Wheels cars over loops and stuff. So it's interesting, but I need to play more to see more of the tracks and all of this. But that's full online and matchmaking and everything. So let's go over to Konami. Okay, this is funny. So Konami had a weird week because they did eFootball, which is like the most hated game on Steam now, by the way. It's some of the glitches are really funny though, so it's not all bad. But we had several reports come out, and I noticed these came out during TGS. Like this is all happening and coming out by Tokyo Game Show. I don't know if that's coincidence or if different publications managed to talk to publishers about this, and they're like, oh, okay, so Konami is going to do something with Metal Gear, Castlevania, and Silent Hill. VGC appears to have the sources around Metal Gear and Castlevania. Apparently, Castlevania is next up. Like that's going to be the one we see first out of these three, and it's going to be a reimagining as they're describing it. Now, I'm wondering how they make Castlevania work. If it's not going to be a 2D one, are they going to go back to the Lords of Shadow formula? Or are they going to try something brand new?
None of this is happening.
Oh, interesting.
I don't believe any of this shit is happening.
Yep. I agree with Sean. It's complete bullshit. The whole thing.
You don't think any of this is happening?
What has Konami done in the past 5 years as a video game?
They just gave us the Castlevania Advance Collection.
Metal Gear Survive extends you.
They gave it to M2. M2 did all the heavy lifting.
I don't think they're. I mean, I assume they're giving this away to places too. I assume other studios are going to do it.
This is something that until I see it in like full on form, I don't believe a fucking word of it.
Okay, this one apparently Castlevania is in development currently internally at Konami in Japan.
Oh, there you go. That's
with support from local external studios.
Okay.
Is there a place where coins fall out of that? That's the only thing I believe that they're working on.
So Metal Gear is the other one. This has been rumored forever. What's weird is like everyone was assuming, okay, Bluepoint's going to do it because that makes sense. But apparently Bluepoint, after they got acquired by Sony, said they're working on an original game. So they're not even going to do a remake. At least from what they're saying. Or
well, some people also on the Bluepoint topic, some people have the quote is like it's new original ideas. So some people are thinking it may not be an original game, but they're just porting something or redoing something they've never done before. So some people are still thinking the Bluepoint Metal Gear Solid remake is possible.
So here's the thing that's interesting about the Metal Gear project. It says the new project is currently in early development, and multiple sources suggested it be centered around fan favorite entry, Metal Gear Solid 3. Sean, how do you feel about them touching that game?
They just need to give it a new coat of paint or something, and then move along. This is all bull. You know why I feel it's bullshit? Because it reads exactly how you want it to read. And
it's also seasonal. Didn't we hear about this like a year ago around this time? I swear it was the same thing came up a year ago.
There was a rumor a couple of years ago about a Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, remaster, whatever you want to use the terminology for the project. and it was going to be based on what you saw the visuals using the Fox engine that you saw in the Metal Gear Solid 3 pachinko machine. And everyone looked at those cinematics and said, wow, why aren't they making it with this type of fidelity for a console game? And that was the intent, but that was way back in 2018. If that is actually the project that is underway, I don't think anyone's going to be complaining.
Here's the good news, though. They also mention that there is work currently being done for the original Metal Gear Solid games as remasters for modern consoles.
They're doing
that project.
They're making a lot of games all of a sudden. You go from making 0 games to we're making a new Castlevania. We're redoing Metal Gear. We're gonna do a ground up Metal Gear, and Silent Hill 17 is coming, and the PlayStation.
There's word that their games division, not their games division like video games, but their other one with like the gambling stuff. Apparently, that's kind of on a downtrend right now.
Well, I mean, you had COVID. You kind of have people attend these arcades and casinos and such.
Apparently, Konami, from the way they're describing it, is looking around like, oh yeah, we can try to make some games.
Well, so one of the reports that came out like a year and a half ago, there was a report where Konami themselves was saying we're trying to find a proper way to re-enter the games industry. So I think they realized if this stuff is true, they're going to go to their closet of classics and go, oh, here's Silent Hill. We dusted it off. Oh, it's the Metal Gear Solids that are already good. Let's dust those off. You know, they're going to sell that first.
Here's the good news, though. If all the Metal Gear Solids get
you're right there, Sean? There's a Metal Gear pachinko machine, a Metal Gear Solid pachinko machine, literally the next town over for sale on eBay.
You're gonna pick it up for your arcade?
How much is it? How much is it, Sean?
It's expensive. It's $1,400.
Oh yeah, screw that. I thought if it was $200, worth it.
Is it? Wait, which one is it? Is the one where he's like in it's like it has the big screen on it and you see him through grass for like Metal Gear Solid 3? Because they had one where you like look through grass at like Snake and he's like crawling around.
I think so. I don't know.
Interesting.
I'll send
you should watch those cinematics of the Metal Gear Solid 3 pachinko machine. They're nuts.
I've seen them.
So the good news here is if all these Metal Gear Solid games get remastered to current platforms, like and not like how they have it on. Well, they have it on like GOG, I think they have it, and it's not a great version of the game. If they do that, then Click can finally play through Metal Gear Solid.
This is very true, and I'd be very happy.
Yes, you can put them on PC and all of this, and just you can play right through them. I don't think they're gonna touch Metal Gear Solid 4 though. I wish someone would actually go back and do that. Like, just get Metal Gear Solid 4 off of that PS3 because it's stuck right now. It needs that. So we're just gonna get Metal Gear Solid 3, Nate, you think, as like a remake remaster, basically like the Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition deal.
Oh, it seems like it's gonna be a lot more work. I mean, the plan was years ago to transition it all the way to the Fox engine. Now it could be like the Crash Insane Trilogy where the core is identical to the original games. It's just a very new coat of paint over everything. It could have been more along those lines. I don't think they mean literal remake like what we saw at Final Fantasy VII. I don't think they're going to go back and alter the story and sequences and stuff like that. I think the core game would remain identical.
I mean, I'd be okay with that if they don't try to Nomura the thing and they just keep it very straightforward.
Like all of a sudden Ocelot is an actual Ocelot and he's flipping guns in the air fighting a snake.
Like I'd be good just going back, getting Metal Gear Solid 3 brought up to current platforms, upgrade it some. Yeah, I'd pick that up and play through it again. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's a fantastic I think it'd be something more along the lines like that, or even what they originally were going to do with the 3DS version of Snake Eater, where they were going to upgrade the visuals, because we saw that tech demo where Snake's model was closer to his Peace Walker model, and then the end result was actually just a PlayStation 2 game with 3D.
Oh, what if they did like online for it as well? That'd be cool.
I'm not believing any of this though, because none of it is real. Just like Abandon isn't real. None of this is real.
Yeah, everyone forgot about Abandon.
Good.
It's with Seasons of Heaven for the Nintendo Switch.
Hassan talked to me. Hassan, the dude behind Abandon, DM'd me on Twitter and said this big weird statement where he was like, "Hey, we're really sorry that the game's not out. We're working on it. We want to prove ourselves." I was like, I'm not even going to reply to this.
Yeah, you should have told him to shut the fuck up and get to work.
Well, I thought about Cry reacting until he saw that I saw it, but not replying anything else.
I think they were figuring after that little app Twitter video that people would keep like following up on it, and everyone just stopped. It was like, yeah, we're fine. So I don't even think, has anyone even checked the application? Has it updated?
No.
Okay, that's fine. Fine. Okay, and the other one, this one I think was from Gematsu, so it's not even VGC. This is a whole other source, and this is definitely right up MVG's alley here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is from Gematsu. A new Silent Hill is in development. A prominent Japanese developer. Guess who it is? Guess who Gematsu says it is?
Gee,
it's Kojima Productions, according to a publishing source that wishes to remain anonymous, who also said that the game is funded by Sony Interactive Entertainment.
All right, I got some things to say about this, and I'll be respectful, but Gematsu, you need to find a better source. Whoever fed you this bullshit story, you need to find another source. So you need to find someone to corroborate that story, because what you were told is ridiculous. So these are the facts. All right, I'm gonna like give Gematsu a history lesson. Kojima and Konami unceremoniously split. It was public and it was not amicable, right? And also remember that Konami completely aborted PT, right? They just wiped off the face of this earth. So now we're led to believe that Kojima is working on a new Silent Hill game. And now people are going to say to me, well, it's not Konami, it's Sony. But hey, guess what? Konami is still involved. They're a stakeholder in this project. If it's Silent Hill, they are involved in this. There is no way that I can imagine that Kojima is working with Konami again in any capacity. He's completely moved on from that split they had. Like I said, it was not amicable. It was very public, and it was not good for him. And he's working on whatever's next for Kojima Productions, his next magnum opus that's probably going to have 7 or 8 Hollywood actors in there. I mean, I can't see him going and doing a Silent Hill game.
I'm confused. I'm confused why he'd go back to Konami. Like, he just did Death Stranding, and that actually sold more copies, I think people realize, until they announced it. It was over 5 million copies. Okay,
he's
seems good there.
Death Stranding too, which was
you know what speaks louder than grudges and separation and all that? Money.
But the thing with that is, the word is that he was looking at Microsoft and like they wanted to do something with him. Like, that's money right there.
Yeah, the Microsoft project was supposed to be what Kojima was working on with Google and Stadia. But I agree with the majority of what MVG says. Like, I really don't see Konami and Kojima making up and saying, hey, let's work together. The only way I could possibly see this project coming to light is if it was literally a case that Sony licensed Silent Hill from Konami. Sony went to Kojima with a check and said, we want you to work on this project. And he said yes, basically viewing it as, I'm not working with Konami. Kind of like when CM Punk went to Fox Sports to talk about WWE. He wasn't working for the WWE. He was hired by Fox Sports.
Okay. I mean, I also wonder if Kojima kind of has that pull back towards Silent Hills and is like, you know, I could go finish this. I could go get it done. Like, maybe there's that pull. Or just there's like he views himself as this artist in gaming. Yeah, he's like I left that shot, like that work undone.
Like, I really can't see Kojima and Konami working harmoniously together on a project.
Oh yeah,
and that's definitely a red flag to the story of kind of like, it seems a little too good to be true. And after all the abandoned is actually Kojima making Silent Hill, it just sounds like a pipe dream.
It's fan fiction. When I read that, I was like, this is fan fiction. Someone told Gematsu a bunch of fan fiction that's not real.
Okay, people in the chat who are saying that CM Punk is on AEW, yes, he's on there now, but before that he was on Fox Sports talking about WWE. I forget the name of the show.
No, you're right, because he was paid by Fox, because everyone thought it might mend a bridge, and initially it was supposed to going to, but then it of course all went to shit because Fox was pissed that he went to AEW and they were like, why didn't WWE try to get him?
Yeah, I forget the name of the show that Fox Sports had when they were doing the WWE talk show with like Paige and
Okay then. So it sounds like if all of this is right, Konami would have a pretty good like
none of
4 or 5
right,
years.
though, but none of it's right.
So, should we wait? Okay, should we bet on this?
What do you? A long-term bet of like 3 years.
I'll be dead by then.
I've been saying the same thing for 2 years. Like I've had a running bet for 2 years.
No, I'm thinking. I'm thinking Castlevania.
So you Castlevania first?
Yeah, no. Should we pick one and then bet if it actually ends up being a thing in the next? I mean,
realistically, Castlevania has the best chance because it's the least amount of work.
Well, I'll say that I think Silent Hill is definitely, the new Silent Hill is definitely coming out, but I also think the new Silent Hill is going to get revealed first. I think they're going to reveal it before the others, because
that's true. They could reveal it at any time, and Sony has no problem revealing a game 3 years before it comes out. So
yeah, well, especially because it could just be like a rusty wheelchair rolling out of the darkness and say like we're returning to the town or whatever.
Yeah, they could do it. They could do a lot.
I'm picturing that like an Undertaker promo.
Exactly.
Well, my counter to that is if Sony has no problem revealing games 3 years in advance, why haven't we seen Silent Hill yet?
I wonder, maybe those negotiations were a pain if that actually happened with Kojima and Konami being on the same paperwork. Yeah, it could have been a whole thing there.
I wonder. I don't know. I have no idea. But my thought is, what if it's super early in development and they don't want to talk about it yet, or if it's some sort of marketing deal thing? I don't know. Who knows?
I feel like somebody at Konami got a piece of paper and a pen and wrote Castlevania, Metal Gear, Silent Hill, and then somebody walked by and was like, "Oh, that'd be cool." So, and then that's where this birthed all of this.
The thing about this that I said is weird to me is all this popped up during Tokyo Game Show. Like, it does make me wonder if I don't know if people got to talk to each, because it was all virtual, so it's not like they showed up at the same place and like, oh, okay. They talk in like a back room or something. It is just strange that all of a sudden this is now really coming out, and Gamatsu seem pretty sure of it. So I don't know if there was marketing or something they saw, but they seem pretty sure that Konami and Kojima are working together again.
But then MVG said Gamatsu could suck his dick.
No, I never said that.
Remember that? No, I heard you say it. You said it under your breath.
Nope. Evan, we got Discord question over there.
Who is your favorite non-gaming YouTuber?
Favorite non-gaming YouTuber?
Red
John
Letter
Boy.
Media.
Girl with the dogs.
What?
It's a dog grooming channel, and she's very dry wit and funny, and I like dogs.
I like Molly Burke. She's really cool.
Yeah.
I like Billiam.
Billiam's great.
Billiam?
Yeah.
I like John Boy.
Hey, he's got a GameCube. He's got a
skits.
GameCube on in his set. Okay, he's kind of gaming.
But he does. Okay.
Sean, you should watch John Boy. He's a Giants fan, and sometimes he'll do like videos, and he just makes fun of them. Like, oh, here we are, we have the lead. He's like, nope, our player just ran to our own guy's ass and fumbled the ball. It's like, no, we fucking lose.
I've seen him like comment on like do overdub on like a situation going on in sports. I've seen people share it on Facebook. Yeah, he's pretty funny.
He's pretty funny, though.
All right. Go over to some of the super chats here. I Live for Retro says Hot Wheels Unleashed on PS5 makes great use of the adaptive triggers. Wish they had cross save since I double dipped for the Switch version. I got it on the Xbox. So that's the thing. I like to see if the PS5, because third parties are so weird about that DualSense still, where they're not 100% taking advantage of it. Like, we're not getting a Returnal type of experience out of these third parties. So it's sometimes they're good and sometimes they're not. So for that one, I just went for the Xbox, but the adaptive triggers are good. That probably would have been the route I would have gone there with the PS5. Christabel says, welcome back, OJ and Max. All right.
There's no OJ.
Congrats to Jordan on 120,000 subs. I miss his old avatar. Did he lose a bet to Jake Randall? I got Max over both Rich and Austin. Truly Epic says, what are the top 5 Game Pass games available right now?
Halo Infinite Beta.
Infinite.
Yeah, no. Well, that's not part of Game Pass though. That's Insider's thing. So for Game Pass, I mean, Master Chief Collection, because it's all the Halo games. So Sean can go through the campaigns, get caught up, no problem there before Infinite comes out.
Psychonauts 2.
Ooh,
That's a good one. What? Because I want to say, but Forza Horizon 4 is going to be outdated here pretty soon.
Quake.
Quake, yeah. I just randomly throw out the fact that Skyrim's on there, and I know we've all played it, or the Medium. The Medium, I feel like not a lot of people are talking about that. It's a decent Silent Hill ripoff. Scarlet
Nexus just went in there.
Oh yeah,
People should check out right now Scarlet Nexus. People should check that out because I know a lot of people right now watching did not check out Scarlet Nexus because it didn't seem to sell that well. So download Scarlet Nexus, check it out. It's on Game Pass. They had Astria Ascending got thrown on there too. I haven't had a chance to play that yet. I downloaded it.
I like the Ascent, even though it has its issues. I think it's a pretty good game. It's worth checking out.
Yeah. I think especially as we get into next year where we start seeing a lot of games drop on there because I know like Back 4 Blood is out. Is that this week?
Next week or
next week
and a half.
Yeah, it's dropping right into Game Pass. But as we get into next year, I think Game Pass is going to start filling up pretty quick. But this is from Symphonic Balance saying, what do you think Sakurai will work on next after Smash is done next week? I feel like he might want to try a different project from Smash.
He's going to work on his awesome game room that he has in that.
He's going to work on a vacation for like 6 months.
Here's my question. All right, so this is going to be the last one. I think a lot of people are going to tune in because it's going to be like the last one. Obviously, you got to see who it is, all this. But I wonder if he even talks about what happens next. Does he announce his retirement completely, or does he say, "I'm going to work on something else, and I'll see you guys at some other point"?
I have something terrible I want to say, but I'm not going to say it.
Oh gosh,
do it.
Get canceled, brother.
Oh no.
That's my question. How does he end it? Does he say, "I'm retiring"? Thanks for all the decades of this, or
but is he retiring?
That's what I mean. Is he done now? Is like this it? I mean, what does he do from here if he's done with games?
I don't think he can.
I don't think he's going to be done with games. I mean, I think we talked about this last time. Like, I feel like he's going to take more of an executive producer role where he's less hands-on day to day, but I think he still probably wants to be involved with making games. But I'd probably expect him to take at least a 12-month break before we even hear from him after this.
I think a lot of game developers don't want to leave the industry. Like it's such a fun, addictive cycle of creating stuff. People don't want to quit. Even when they can retire, they typically don't.
It's also more than that. A lot of them don't even know what to do with themselves, because they've been in the industry for such a long time. That's all they know, So I'm not saying that Sakurai is that type of person, but he may just want to continue being involved in video games going forward.
Yeah, maybe he gets to go make his new IP or something brand new.
Wasn't there an interview that he did recently where he basically said like he doesn't think that he thinks that he wants to work as long as he can? Wasn't that just a thing? Yeah, I think physically he's the person that needs to be doing something, and feeling productive, not just like for a company and to their standards, but for his own.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll find out. That's on the 5th, so what's that, Tuesday? Tuesday, yes. So we'll see then. I guess we'll see Sora get presented, and then they'll talk about what's next. So Tijo says, glad Scarlet Nexus is on Game Pass. Best game no one played. It's a good game. Certainly no one played it. Calvin says, okay, Max played it. Did anyone else here play it?
Were the two of them? Were the two?
OJ, I mean here right now. I think it was just Max and I. So there you go. It's on Game Pass. Go check it out. Calvin says, Spawncast, any of you played Eastward? I want to bring attention to it because it's currently my game of the year, and it's the only game where I cried at the end. I have it downloaded on the Switch. I haven't had a chance to play it. I played like an hour of it. I shouldn't say I haven't played it, but I know for that game that's like not much at all. So
the developers talked to me and they sent me a code, and I've been playing it. I don't know why the art style. I don't know. I'm really not liking the art style, and that's very grating to me. It has a really like hipster aesthetic. That's I don't know. It's not for me.
It's kind of trying to be like an Earthbound or like Mother type game from what I'm seeing with the art style.
Well, and they like, it's one of those like meta video games. They're kind of talking about video games while you're inside a video game. Sometimes
it's very weird. It's like fourth wall breaking at times.
Yeah.
This is from Georgie saying Infinite blows 4, 5 and Reach out of the water in multiplayer.
Not wrong.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree on that. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Jalen says, well, it didn't take long for Konami to screw over another franchise. Rip Pro Evolution Soccer. I agree. Pro Evolution Soccer was highly regarded back in the day. There was a point in time where I thought it was just completely better than FIFA. It wasn't even close, but everyone played FIFA. And now they got people falling through the floor. So yeah, that's a shame. One video game dude says if RGT85 was a game character, he'd be the end game boss.
Not wrong.
This is from Khalil says, I'm canceling Metroid Dread to help RGT win.
Wrong.
This is Dark Type says, everyone's looking cute today. Much love. I wish I could make it to too many games. Is anyone going to save the show on their channels, or is it not allowed to be recorded? I think it can be recorded, I believe.
Yeah,
I don't see why that'd be a problem. I don't know how to set all that up, but
I'll make y'all a deal. If somebody in the audience happens to film it and uploads it, I'll retweet whatever the upload is, because it's going to be too difficult for us to film it. But if somebody else films it, I'll retweet it so people can find it and see it.
This is from Meyer, says, for those playing Banana Mania, use a GameCube styled controller if you have one. It controls much better than using the Pro or Joy-Cons.
I mean, it makes sense. It's a GameCube game.
Mm-hmm. This is okay. This is from one video game dude saying, if Miss Click was a video game character, she'd be the one encouraging the main protagonist to never give up and believe in themselves.
Thanks.
This is from Foxy, says, do you guys think the way Take-Two is treating Grand Theft Auto franchise had something to do with Dan Houser leaving?
Danhausen? Love that Danhausen.
Dan Houser.
Wow. Maybe.
You mean just stringing it along, getting as much as they can out of 5, and then now doing remasters? Which, I mean, the remasters would be cool because it sounds like, I mean, there were rumors that they were pushing it into Unreal Engine somehow. So we'll see how this goes with these remasters. But I mean, they're very aggressive with Grand Theft Auto right now, as we see, right, MVG, with the takedown notices and like now even just serving up the people who did the modifications and
suing their own fans. Stay classy, Take-Two.
It's an interesting strategy. One video game dude says, if John was a game character, he'd be the Titan who tells us get swole or go home. Will Banks says, final Smash character predictions, 3, 2, 1, go. I mean, I think a lot of people figure it's gonna be Sora, which means it'll probably be someone completely different.
It's gonna be something completely different.
Soma Cruz.
I'm still thinking Master Chief.
Master Chief would be cool.
Kratos.
I'm gonna say the worst possible thing, which is Cinderace.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, that would annoy a lot of people.
Like, just give me another Pokemon. That's my expectation. If it's anything else,
did you say Cinder from Killer Instinct? That'd be
awesome.
He said Chris Pratt from the Mario movie.
Dude, if we could get the Killer Instinct music in all of it, it'd be great.
Killer Instinct soundtrack. Oh man,
that would be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty good.
I'd be alright with that.
Killer Instinct. We need the Saberwolf theme.
Yeah.
Then we have Chris here, no message. Then we have Allstave says, when do you think Switch OLED burn-in will be a topic of widespread discussion? The PSP Vita OLED suffered from this. Love you all, including Nate.
Spinal.
Why'd you have to specify including
including Nate?
Yeah, what the hell? Shouldn't I just be part of that to begin with? I'm an extra.
Yeah, they made sure you're on
PS also Nate.
Also Nate.
Yeah.
Yes, Hayes.
The burn-in topical, I mean, we'll find out, in the first year, I'd say, if that's an issue. They said they did stuff to try to alleviate burn-in, so we'll see how that goes. We got Discord question, Evan.
How is it that RGT85 has never had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Wait, what?
I've never liked how jelly looks, and I don't like the texture of it, so I've never had it. I remember my stepdad came to my kindergarten class and made peanut butter jelly sandwiches, peanut butter and fluff sandwiches, and I looked at him and I remember I was like, I just want peanut butter, and so he just made me a peanut butter sandwich.
What's wrong with the Fluffernutter?
I don't like Fluffernutter because when you think of fluff, I think of a fart. So like, I'm not eating a fart. Like, that's just weird.
You're not eating your fart. That's right.
It's just marshmallow, basically.
Yes, I don't like the name. I don't like the texture. So
what about like peanut butter and banana?
You've never eaten a fart though.
You tried a cigarette. You tried a cigarette before you tried jelly.
Yeah, I mean, it's cigarettes because this kid who had Cinemax at his house, who lived in the same apartment complex as us, his dad smoked, and like he had like you would go into this closet and he would just have cartons of Winstons because it was in North Carolina, and like, I don't know, people smoked Winstons, so we got into his Winstons and we started smoking them, and then I got caught, and my dad was like, come with me, and so he took me to the gas station, and he tried to do that thing that you always see where it's like, he had me smoke a pack, and so I was just sitting there and I got like 4 or 5 into it, and he looked at me and he was like, fuck, I might have made a mistake here. And then he was like, all right, just don't smoke anymore. And he took the cigarette. But I'm like, why? What's the problem there?
So you don't like jelly. What about jam?
Nah, I don't mess with any of that stuff.
Damn. I can't eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches either. Once my brothers were bullying me once as a kid, and they held me down and fed me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I vomited. And now anytime I try and eat jelly or peanut butter anywhere near each other, same reaction.
See, I just
down for too many games.
I like just peanut butter. Like, what's wrong with just peanut butter? Peanut butter is a very diverse thing. You could dip celery in peanut butter. You could put it on graham crackers. You could put it on a sandwich. I think peanut butter. That's the thing with me.
Mix it with some honey. Get some apples. It's good.
True. I like simplicity.
Thanks to today's video sponsor. Oh, that's not this week.
No, it's not this week.
When I get a pizza, I get a cheese pizza. The pizza, like the peanut butter sandwich, it's not a fucking plate. It's not shit that needs to be put on top of it. Just, I want to taste the cheese. I want to taste the dough. I want to taste the sauce, and I want to taste the oregano. With a peanut butter sandwich, I want to taste peanut butter, and I want to taste the bread. Nothing else.
I thought you put dried hot pepper on your pizza.
I do sometimes. It just has to be, it's more of a mood based thing, especially if like my nose is a little stuffy. I'll do it because it clears up my nose.
Okay.
That's an interesting story about peanut butter sandwiches.
Just I'll mess with them. Just peanut butter only.
I get a shout out to Anise Pierce for becoming a new member. Thank you, Anise Pierce. Let's go. Let's go over to Metroid Prime. There were reports and rumors going around now about that Metroid Prime trilogy. Remember when that went around what was that, years ago, right? Was that the first year?
Yep.
First year of the Switch? Leading up to the Game Awards, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the whole thing. Remember, it was going around, Metroid Prime trilogy is going to make its way to the Switch. It makes sense. Metroid Prime 4 got announced, and we got Samus Returns. Now Prime trilogy. And it never happened. Like, that just never showed up. And here we are years later. But now the report's coming out that Retro Studios has actually been working on a remaster remake between them. We need a word for that.
Yeah, it kind of blurs the line between a remake and a remaster. I side more towards remaster.
Is it like how it's like Definitive Edition, Xenoblade? How that had that argument? Is it a remaster or a remake, back and forth? Like that?
I mean, I would go beyond the scope of what we saw with the Xenoblade Definitive Edition. I would compare it probably closer to something like Halo Anniversary Collection.
Oh,
that's not a remake. Yep. That was a remaster. Oh, yeah. It was just a visual remaster.
Okay. So that makes more sense there to look at it in that light. So the idea is that Retro Studios has been working on this thing for years, actually. And that, I guess, is where the story originated from, because people see Metroid Prime as getting put to the Switch, remastered or remade in some way, and they assume that the other two are going to follow as part of the trilogy. Is that kind of painting the picture there?
The original project began with the concept that they would do the original trilogy, but this was also when Retro was not assigned to Metroid Prime 4. This was strictly them looking for a new project after the game they were working on was canceled. So they started to remake Metroid Prime 1 with plans to do the sequels. Since then, the status of these sequels is kind of in a limbo because it wouldn't be handled by Retro at this point. It would be external development studios doing those projects. Retro, with some assistance, has been working on Metroid Prime 1 since around 2018. So this has been a project that they have been undertaking for the last 3 years. So
here's the weird part for me. How did this all go where they did Metroid Prime 1? They've been working on it since 2018. And then somehow they end up with Metroid Prime 4 after Nintendo and I guess Bandai botch it. Like, somehow they went, wow, did they look at what they were doing with Metroid Prime and they were like, oh, okay, maybe they can do Prime 4 then?
I mean, that's a possibility. I'm not really sure how Retro came into control of Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, that's the weird part, that whole thing. Maybe they just admit it. They're like, yeah, let's just send it to Retro and they'll take it from here. We'll restart it. But the thing with that is I look at it and go, a Metroid Prime remake, and I guess the word's been that it's basically done, at least is what you had mentioned, Nate. So it'll be coming out next year.
Yes, 2022. Development of the game is finished as far as actual development of the game. It still has to go through QA and, that type of process. So it's not that the release isn't in the immediate future. It probably won't be announced until E3 of 2022, but release will be next year.
So that means that Prime 4 is not coming out next year.
Oh no.
I'm wondering if Prime 4 is a cross-gen game. I think it might be. I think it might be a game that just comes out on Nintendo's next system and this current one.
What is the gen? We don't know. Also, well, I think this Metroid. I'm tired. I don't believe it.
The Metroid Prime remake?
Yeah, I don't believe it. What happened to Trilogy? So Trilogy the problem is we were told that Trilogy was done and they're just waiting on the right time. So you have a done Trilogy coming to the Switch.
Trilogy was never finished.
There was people saying it was finished.
Yes, that did go around and it came back earlier this year. I believe it was around July that it had resurfaced. And I had been making comments prior to that saying, no, throw away the Trilogy information that you had from years prior. The project changed in scope. And I continue to say, I think it's for the better. Though that information was based on the premise that Retro was doing the original Trilogy. Somehow it got conflated with something else, and that people believed the Trilogy had been 100% done. And for some reason, even into 2021, people were saying Nintendo was sitting on it. They were never sitting on anything. It was never completed because Prime 1 became priority to Retro in 2019.
So I like this idea, mostly because, I mean, you've pointed it out a lot, Sean, obviously, in the talk about Metroid Dread sales. Metroid Prime 1 is the best-selling Metroid game, and it's didn't even touch 3 million units. So, like, there's a lot of people who just have not played Metroid Prime. So you do a remake, remaster, whatever you want to call it, for current audiences on, like, the Switch now compared to what we have with the GameCube. And I feel like Retro could do some really, like, impressive stuff here. Like, this would be a good spot for them to show off, like, their talent again, because Retro just hasn't been. I mean, they did Tropical Freeze, right? And that was good. But, like, I don't know if anyone's been overly impressed like what they were with when Metroid Prime first debuted.
They haven't done dick in
that's what I mean, like,
decade.
Metroid Prime blew people away on that GameCube. When that was shown back then in, like, 2002, it was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, Tropical Freeze is good. It's a good game, but it's not like, wow, this is amazing. This is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. I haven't felt that way with Retro Studios since then. I mean, you can say Metroid Prime 3 was, I mean, it was on the Wii, so it held it back a bit with that Wii. But, like, the GameCube, Metroid Prime 1, when that debuted, that was at the time, probably the best looking game.
That made me buy a GameCube, that game, when it came out. I was like, this is it. This is why I didn't have to buy a GameCube for this.
Yeah, like when the weather effects where they had, like, it affect the visor and all that when you're going through, and you even at times can see her face reflected onto the visor back at you. It was crazy, right? So, and
it was one of the earliest games that ran at 60, and I was like, I don't think the GameCube can do 60. And then all of a sudden, Metroid Prime comes along and just smashes it, and it does 60 locked everywhere. So that was it.
That's one of the reasons I hope this is all correct and we see it again, because I think this could be another time where Retro shows up and is like, yeah, this game still looks good. We remade it basically, and we're still really good at making Metroid Prime, rather than have to wait potentially 2 more years before we see Prime 4 or have it come out. 3 years maybe. This is, I think, a good stepping stone to that and get people back into it. And then I don't know how they handle 2 and 3, because 3 seems like a Skyward Sword situation.
What do you mean? In what sense?
Like, they would have to
redo the controls.
A lot of the game would have to be redone too, because they mentioned that some of the bosses were set up thinking you have motion controls in front of you, pointer controls and all this. So, like, I think they would have to do quite a bit of work to that game.
Yeah, that would consist of considerable effort for them to really transition onto the Switch platform from button controls.
To be honest, though, if they can get Skyward Sword to work, like, quite honestly, they could do Metroid for sure.
Yeah.
To say that the Wii port of Prime, in my opinion, ran better than when I played it on GameCube because of how the Wiimote worked. I enjoyed it so much more than the way. I mean, obviously now with the different controller setups that we have and the customizations you can do, like, it'd be a different experience. But if they can do Skyward Sword, they can do this. But it is work.
Yeah, the pointer controls made things really a lot easier on the Wii compared to some previous games with those shooters. Like, Resident Evil 4 is fantastic on the Wii because it's so much easier, which makes it just more fun because just popping headshots left and right on there. And like, I'll still go back and play it on the Wii. That's probably the best version of the game.
Also, it is also the knife swipe where you just literally swipe it, you automatically do it. I love it.
But I'm not going to lie, that Oculus version, I'm thinking about getting that.
Ooh.
I think I'm gonna get that Quest 2 for it. I think I am. I have a bunch of Best Buy gift. I have a bunch of Best Buy gift cards. I think I'm gonna make that happen.
I'm gonna go too. Screw it.
I'm tired of waiting for the PSVR 2.
Well, also
that's by next year.
The Quest 2, it's a freestanding unit, right? Like you don't connect it to a PC. It's just a headset that works, right?
Yep.
That's what I want. That's the only kind of VR I want. Like from here into the future.
And it's not
Is that the one you have to sign into Facebook on?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only downside.
I got a fake name. It's fine. I'm Daniel Dickerson.
It's $300 too. So overall, that's actually pretty good pricing considering everything's included. You don't need a PlayStation and then a headset or like a PC in the headset. So, and I honestly, from what they were showing with Resident Evil 4 on there, it looked pretty good. Like they redid a bunch of the puzzles for the virtual reality aspect of it, and I think I'm gonna pick it up and go through that. Absolutely. So Metroid Prime remake, $60. You guys in on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I would like to see it.
Maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say as they show it up, $60. My other question is, do they add anything in terms of content to it to maybe hint towards games that already exist now? Maybe like, or even like towards Prime 4 or something. Maybe throw some things in there that we go back. Yeah, and look at later.
Even like slightly, I don't know if they'd necessarily retcon things, but they could definitely alter things a little bit if they wanted to make it a more seamless transition for people. But again, like how like my cats are taking off. How original do you want it, to the OG content kind of thing? But also, you know how it goes, John. Every time we bring up Metroid, it gets delayed by 6 months. So.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Well, here's the thing with this though. If this is correct, that means that Nintendo has a pretty clear focus on Metroid right now. You see this, Sean? We got Dread coming up, possible Metroid remake, Metroid Prime remake, then Metroid Prime 4. A lot of Metroid stuff going on.
All right,
here.
Sean. Now is the moment. Which one will sell more, Dread or Metroid Prime 1 remake or remaster?
2D versus 3D. I like it.
Is that even fair?
Metroid Prime will outsell Dread.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Metroid Prime remake.
You have chosen wisely.
I know.
That was a troll question, right?
Unbeknownst to a lot of people, I kind of know what I'm talking about.
Well, hold on. There's going to be. See, the Prime is going to have that same kind of advantage that Dread had, which Dread had that controversy around being a 2D game. Metroid Prime is going to have that controversy around the pricing for just Prime, rather than just being the full trilogy.
If it is indeed a thing.
Yeah, but I think the visual upgrades will be enough for people to look at and say, "Wow, I can't wait to spend $60 on this."
Okay. How much is it on the GameCube right now? Actually, because maybe if that's
$20.
That's it. Okay.
Is Prime 1 like used?
I think it's jumping price recently.
On the
it's like
GameCube.
30-ish. It's like 30.
Okay. See, it's still not outlandish on the GameCube. That's just because it's sold 3 million copies almost, and that's one of the better selling Metroid games.
You can also play it in any number of ways at this point. You can play it on the Wii. You can play it on the Wii.
Yeah,
right,
but
Metroid Prime complete inbox GameCube is $29.39.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's about right. But that's the thing, though. There's 13.5 million Wii U's out there, right? So, like, if everyone on the Switch wanted to get a Wii U, it's impossible. So you have to go back to the Wii. Well, how much is Metroid Prime Trilogy on the Wii right now?
A lot more than $20.
There you go. So either way, it's a whole thing to make that happen. So
yeah, we have emulators.
I mean, yeah, people are just gonna go through Dolphin, which the game still looks great on Dolphin, so still looks good. Yeah, Evan, we got Discord question over there.
Do you think we will ever see a brand new 2D Zelda game?
Oh, you know what? I would like to see them. I know he's talking about remaking Metroid, but like do something with Zelda 2.
That's a game that deserves it.
I'd like to see the Link's Awakening treatment done to Oracles.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if I want that exact same look. I mean, the same. I get what you're saying. Like, change it up so the visually looks different.
Not the exact same look, but use that engine and make it an accurate artistic representation of what the Oracle game were.
Do they do both Oracle games or just one?
They should do both separately. It'd be like the Pokemon stuff, but for Zelda.
Yeah.
You'll have to have a save file to get to the final dungeon. You got to beat the game 2 times.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool. Do I have a double pack for it too?
Yeah, do the Pokemon thing.
Yeah, that'd be good. Well, okay. Which one would you buy if you only buy one? Oracle Seasons. Wow, that was easy. Interesting. Okay.
Click is unsure.
Click doesn't agree.
Oracle had more complicated puzzles in certain spots. If I remember, and I didn't like that.
Hey, Capcom made good Zelda games.
I don't know. I really liked Ages,
They did.
Though. I don't know. That's tough, man. I want them both. Just give me both.
We have a person who's not a big Metroid guy. He's wondering if Dread would be a good place to start when it is out.
Oh gosh,
it depends on what you don't like about Metroid. If you don't like,
you know what a good spot to start is right now. If you already have the Switch, Super Metroid, or Metroid, both of them, and the NES one, and they're both right there on the online app.
Maybe it's the older style he doesn't like. It's hard to say. Like, go for a modern 2D because the only other one is Samus Returns.
Yeah.
So it's like, if the 3D 2D kind of aspect is intriguing you and you don't like the old school style or play style, like it's still going to be 2D and you're still going to feel alone. Like that's kind of what majority of Metroid's all about, is like her being by herself and it kind of being like solo exploration. But if it's the 2D mechanics specifically that you don't like it's kind of more of what it is.
I'm gonna say just go with Super Metroid. I think that's a good spot to jump into there and see
also the GOAT.
Yeah, just go in there, see what you think. It's not even a long game necessarily, so just you can technically speed run it. So I would try it there. It's already on the Nintendo Switch Online app, so I'm just
that's good advice. Try Super Metroid. If it clicks with you, consider Dread. Read some reviews, get some impressions, but don't jump into Dread, head first without having any type of background knowledge of the franchise.
Yeah, and make sure you check out the bosses on Super Metroid. See what you think of those.
Did the comment say he doesn't like Metroid-like games, or he doesn't like Metroid games?
He just said he's never been into Metroid.
Oh, never been into. So he's new to it. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, have fun with it, I guess.
One video game dude says, if Nate the Hate was a game character, he'd be the one to tell us. You'd met with a terrible fate, haven't you?
That's true.
Steve says, summoned my inner RGT earlier today and passed out on the couch mid breadstick.
Keep going. Full story.
But when I woke up, it was gone. Where the heck did it go? Anyway, have fun at Too Many Games. Safe travels.
That is the very Sean moment. That's good.
This is from Google saying, hey guys, long time listener. Have any of you guys fallen out of love for gaming before? And what did you do to get back into it?
I took about 1 year off. In 2009, I took 1 year away from gaming, and that's the only one I did. And I ended up just going back and kind of playing the original Pokemon and Skies of Arcadia. Like sometimes it's just like go back and go to the classics you love to spark it.
I think I feel like way back in the day when I first started working at a game store, I started to be less interested in gaming, which was weird because I was just going there to work at 8-9 hours at a time, and then I go home and I'm like, I was around this stuff the whole time. I don't feel like doing it now. And I think I'm trying to remember which system came out, and I was like, okay, I'm back in. Which system did I get? Basically, I got one of the newer systems. I was like, okay, I'm back in. Might have been the PS3.
I think honestly, I think I'm partially in that phase still a little bit, in the sense of when I'm not streaming. Like I feel like streaming games is different than just making content on games.
Because it's work, right? You're working.
Yeah, and if I'm not streaming, I just kind of don't want to play games. New World specifically, I've been playing a lot of New World, the new MMO, a lot recently, and I think that's kind of reignited me wanting to play games even when I'm not streaming. But a lot of streamers, like it's because you're there for at your desk, like it's nothing to complain about. I love it, but when I'm not in front of the computer, I kind of want to stay that way and like do other things. So,
this is from Grinning Wolf Games. Do you feel the Saturn or Dreamcast were a better fit for Nintendo Switch Online instead of Genesis, and why? Yo, Max, did you see the PS5 custom controller video on my channel? Had to include the Final Fantasy 7 logo. Love you all.
I did. I watched, so Grinning Wolf, he even DM'd it to me. It's a really good custom PS5 video. Super freaking cool. And of course, I'm biased. Put Dreamcast on Switch.
Yeah, dude, I would love Saturn or Dreamcast on Switch Online. I mean, I love Genesis, but I mean, if they put Saturn on there, that would be some next level shit.
If it was Dreamcast and Nintendo 64 rather than Genesis and N64, do you think there'd be as much talk about, how much is this going to cost? I don't know. Do you think people would be like, Dreamcast Online and Nintendo 64? Yeah, I'll pay the extra money for that.
Yeah.
It's that. Okay. I feel like a lot of people look at Genesis and they're like, I guess. Like, it just didn't seem that exciting for a lot of people that Genesis was going in.
Because, I mean, we've had Genesis on a virtual console. We have the Genesis collection that you can buy for $10 that has 50 games. And it's just kind of like, oh, it's the Genesis again. Dreamcast would have been that new thing. Imagine, I mean, if you had a launch lineup of Shenmue and you had Capcom
Crazy
on board
Taxi
with Power Stone, Crazy Taxi,
Sonic Adventure,
Skies of Arcadia, 2 Sonic games, House of the Dead, Dynamite Cop, Valkyrie, Gun Valkyrie.
Yeah,
all of a sudden that type of stuff happens. It's like
Tokyo Extreme Racer.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's like, whoa, like these are games we haven't seen in years in any other form. Now we can access them through this service. That's exciting. And the fact that Sega has not tapped into the Dreamcast collection more, except for like that 360 release they did that was literally called the Dreamcast collection.
It's Sega.
They should be HDing these games. Like,
it's Sega.
Nobody's business. Like, why do we not have an HD copy or a re-release of Jet Set Radio HD? They put it on the 360 and the Vita. Why is it not on? Well, what the fuck, Sega?
That's all it is. Here. That's all it is. This is the same company that was like, oh, Persona 4 Golden sold well on Steam for some reason.
Well, also they're weird about like they did the Shenmue remaster. The Shenmue collection seemed to have sold great. I bought literally 5 copies of it. It's one of those things where it's like, do that for more stuff. Bring it back. Bring us Skies of Arcadia. The people demand it.
If they just use that Dreamcast logo on a Dreamcast collection, they could probably do 3 games and everyone would buy it like crazy. 3 just like classics, like you said. Jet Set Radio on there, maybe a Crazy Taxi, and then just something else. Maybe a Sonic Adventure as a 3-pack.
Skies of Arcadia.
Oh man,
sure.
You know what they got to pack in there? Marvel vs. Capcom 2, because everybody's demanding it anyways. Let's do that.
That sounds like something that everyone's fighting over. That being Capcom, Disney.
That one can be its own release. That one can be its own release.
But like, you know what I mean? Like if they just leverage that Dreamcast logo a bit more, they would clean up.
Yeah, because it has that nostalgia factor that excites fans. And I'm still angry that we haven't seen SNK and Capcom come to an agreement to bring back Capcom versus SNK 2. Because it was on the GameCube, I think it was on the Dreamcast, it was on the Xbox, it was on the PS2, and that game is phenomenal. It's not as good as Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but it is up there.
This is from Xbox Lost, PlayStation 1, saying, who cares about Nintendo? Talk about Sony and Bluepoint. We kind of did. You know what's funny? A lot of people thought Bluepoint was part of PlayStation already. So like we started talking about it, they were like, oh, I thought that was already a thing. I mean, they leaked it, but like I think it's just because they worked so closely together. People just assumed that Bluepoint was already part of them.
Since their inception, Bluepoint's only released 2 multi-platform games, and one of them was the Metal Gear Solid HD collection, and the other one was Titanfall for Xbox 360. Otherwise, all their releases have been PlayStation exclusives. So it's kind of like when Next Level Games, before Nintendo bought them, everyone just assumed Nintendo owned Next Level Games.
This is from Freeman saying NVIDIA Universal Driver Architecture compatibility is solved by NVIDIA as long as they stay with NVIDIA. There's already a hardware abstraction layer.
No, you're incorrect. While what you're saying is accurate, it doesn't apply to the Switch. So this is the argument that people tell me about why backward compatibility is not an issue for the next generation of Switch if they move off of the X1. The problem is the driver stack, the GPU, like the actual driver itself, is embedded in every single game. So I'm sorry, but every game has to be patched for a new version on new SoC. And that's the reality of it. Look at Cyrus's tweets. He'll say the same thing. It doesn't apply in this situation.
Okay. Xbox Lost PlayStation 1 followed up saying, by the way, Halo will never be good. Cope John placed PS way better. I can't argue with that.
Thanks for the money, bud.
Couch Gaming says, what suggestions would you give to an adult who's with kids that wants to start making Nintendo-focused YouTube content for fun?
Keep it super casual.
Have fun. You said it yourself.
Yeah.
Yep. Fish Fan says, great show, Spawn crew. Thanks again. RGT, any good eats from Gmail this week? Also, did you indeed have a pizza day today? PS Red will top 3 million in year 1.
Okay. First off, it won't. Second off, yeah, she brought by some ham and cheese cold cuts the other day. Nice. And what was the second? Oh, yeah, I did get a pizza today. It was good.
Nice. So it was a local place.
Yeah. I don't.
She didn't bring any Kabagol?
Nah.
What?
Wait, is it always just cheese, Sean?
Yeah.
Huh.
Always.
Why didn't you get any Kabagol?
There's a lot of questions coming at me right now.
I want to know where the Kabagol is.
You got to ask her.
Sean, you got to go to too many games so we can like get some wings or pizza or something there.
I'm trying.
Come to a day. Just come for a day.
Yeah.
I know he'd be there like a couple days probably for the trip. This is from Xbox Lost PlayStation 1. Okay. Kojima is doing Silent Hill for Sony, Cope, MVG, and RGT. I think that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I mean,
8,
I have a PlayStation.
And there's 8 clown emojis after that.
I don't care. I have a PlayStation 5. I'll be fine.
Woke up this morning.
Rufflemutt says
gone.
You ever seen that donkey video of he plays a Sopranos PS2 game and he just sings the song but he keeps replacing the words with gabagool?
Nah.
It's friggin' hilarious.
I love donkey.
Rufflemutt says, Konami, give us a new Rocket Knight.
They tried that.
Steven. Oh, that's right. I remember that. That was like that one looked kind of 3D, but it was all 2D.
Oh, it's a piece of shit.
2.5D or whatever. Steven says, going to too many games my first time this year. If I bring an NES cart with Rust buildup, want to attempt a repair for the channel, you can keep it. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't really thought about doing a Rust repair for NES games. But
what if it was Little Samson or Stadium Events?
I'd put 5 minutes aside to try to fix that. Solo says, so many new games coming this month. Which games are you looking forward to the most? For me, it's probably Metroid, Nickelodeon, and Back 4 Blood. Definitely Metroid right now for me.
Yeah.
Metroid.
I feel like not enough people are talking about Back 4 Blood. I mean, I feel like there's just not
enough people are talking about.
Is Far Cry coming out?
Far Cry 6.
Yeah, I thought so.
I know. Yeah, that comes out in 3 days, 40. Yeah, where's any talk about Far Cry?
I am gonna buy it because I get the Far Cry games, but I feel like I'm gonna be badly disappointed on this. I just there's no hype. Even it feels like they're just kind of pushing it out almost now. Like, okay, here's Far Cry.
They did a preview circuit, and all the YouTubers that played it said it's really good. It's the best Far Cry, but it's just no one's excited for it.
Yeah, I just think people are getting a little tired of it. I don't know.
It's the same old shit, just a different toilet.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Sean.
This is from Diz says, would be cool to see Rob on next week to discuss Metroid Dread.
Rob.
Well, next week we're going to be at too many games, unfortunately. So,
True.
But if he comes after that, there you go.
Yeah, the week after, yeah.
Ghost says, since RGT has never had PB&J, he should try it live and review it on stream next week if he's not allergic. That would actually be fun. You should do it on your live stream channel yourself, Sean.
I don't want to eat PB&J.
Reviewing PB&J live
challenge.
No, it sounds disgusting.
It's probably like a 2 million view video.
And just go ham.
Yeah, you could do. I give me a video of time. I was like, I've never had PB&J before until now, or something like that.
35
trying it for the first time in my life.
Popping my PB&J cherry.
Yeah. Swag says, Konami is bringing an online pachinko machine to a living room near you.
Probably.
Yep.
Joseph says, playing any games that you haven't discussed yet.
Darksiders 3 on Switch.
Oh gosh,
I hear it's not great.
It's not a great port. I mean, it's the best the Switch can do.
Yeah.
I actually made a comparison video of the Xbox One versus the Switch.
It seems like I need some help.
A lot of things are missing.
I know I just briefly mentioned it in passing, but I have been playing New World, and I haven't played an MMO in a couple years now. And honestly, it's been so much fun. Like, I hope they add more to the game, obviously, as it evolves. But like, if you're looking for like an MMO that's almost mixed between, like, for me, like, I've only played a few MMOs, but it's almost like a love child between like WoW and RuneScape for me. And I'm having so much fun.
Is this you got to buy it and then it's also a monthly fee?
No, it's $40 flat.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay.
Yeah, it's $40 flat.
With a cosmetic shop. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like the extra cosmetics that you can get, but you know how MMOs go. Like, you get so many different sets anyway. I don't know if they'll add transmogging in eventually, but it's been I think there's a couple people already a part of my group that they've already passed. They're getting close to the 100-hour mark, so they're flat out not sleeping.
How many hours you got, Evan?
40.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought it was gonna be a lot more than that.
I've got too much shit to do.
It's been out for a couple days.
Every time I see Evan on Steam, he has New World up. I'm like, there he is with New World again. Let's try. Okay, wow.
I'm gonna do it after this. You guys can go play Halo. Let's get through it.
Why don't you play Halo with us, Evan?
You could play Halo.
Yeah, Evan.
Yeah, Evan.
I'm fine.
You jerk.
Parker says, Hey guys, did you all know that Dead Space reactivated their YouTube channel and had a live stream that looked very promising? Check it out. I like that. That was actually a cool the one before. Are you talking about the one before with developers where they walk through and show just like the skeleton of the game, basically? So that was actually probably a live stream.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Steven says your ideal Castlevania game, plot, characters, etc.
Symphony of the Night, in my opinion, is perfection.
Yep.
Soma Cruise, Big Castle, a lot of souls.
So like Dawn of Sorrow.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then Evan, you got a Discord question over there?
Yeah, we still got a few. Any recommendations for a Series X monitor to take advantage of 4K 120?
Series X monitor 4K 120. This Gigabyte one I have is actually pretty good. I don't know what the model number is though. The problem is 4K 120 is tough.
Yeah, 4K 120 is rough.
Yeah, right now for monitors it is. Like you can get like 4K 60 fairly easily or 1440p 120 because the Xbox will support 1440p. 4K 120, I think we're still like 2 years behind that right now for one that is priced well, I would say, or worth it. That's the only issue right now. You got another question, Evan? I'm going to go back to these super chats after that.
Bought a first-gen Switch to mod games with. Did any of you try modding games on PC/others platforms, and what is your stance on modding in general?
One of my best friends does he only does the Breath of the Wild mods, but he does the thing where it's 4K and 100 FPS, and it looks absolutely freaking glorious. And of course, you can have like play as CJ from Grand Theft Auto and stuff. So, I mean, my thing is, if you own the game, if you know what you're doing, if you're not breaking anything, have fun, do whatever. It's your product.
Yep. Great. And I mean, in recent times, Take-Two aside, because they're assholes, a lot of these companies are actually looking at modders to help them with like Cyberpunk, right? I mean, they're literally hiring modders to help them, work on that game for them. And I think that's the way it should be done. Bring in the community.
I think
soon to be Game of the Year nominee, Cyberpunk.
Yeah. I think Splash Damage as a company only came into being because they were modding maps. Like that's how they exist. People got interested in their work. That's the whole reason they're there as a company.
There was a guy who was modding to get PT to run on PC, and his work was so good that Konami hired him.
Oh, I remember that.
People think he may be working on the new Silent Hill.
It's from Shinru. Says, hey everyone, what makes Halo great compared to the Killzone series? What was everyone's opinion on Killzone, and should the series come back?
I really like Killzone.
Yes.
Yeah, Killzone was fine.
The first game with the multi paths in it was awesome. Just picking different characters and going different ways. It was great.
Killzone 1's campaign was a little rough. Killzone 2 campaign was really good. 3 was pretty solid too.
3 was good.
But the PS4 version, the PS4 Killzone's just terrible.
I think the real issue here is everyone has that memorable character for Halo. It's Master Chief. If you haven't played a Halo campaign like Sean, he knows who Master Chief is. Right. Killzone just doesn't have that Master Chief character that everyone doesn't even have to play through Killzone. They already know the character for it.
It has good, villain design. But
yeah, the thing I remember with Killzone, I think the part that annoyed me, I'm trying to remember exactly which one it was. It might have been 2. It was 3. The controls felt a little delayed.
That was 2.
That was 2. Okay. Because I remember I got really annoyed with it. I was like, why does this feel like it's just like I'm going through like water?
Killzone 2 was very heavy in motion, and even the aiming kind of felt like you were like a half a second behind with the analog stick where your character was actually moving. Yeah. Killzone 3, it was a lot smoother. I mean, the most iconic character from Killzone is probably, what was the villain's name? The Soldier Radic? I think it was him. Otherwise, yeah, they didn't really have an iconic character to go with the series. And I mean, it's a shame. Maybe one day Guerrilla returns to it, because visually what they could produce was...
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, especially like that was a launch PS4 title, Killzone, and it looked incredible. So
I was one of the... I actually have there's a trophy you could pop. It was an optional trophy in Killzone 2 or 3, I forget, which was being the top 0.1% of player kills. So I got into like the top 1000th percentile or whatever, because then you could snipe res people. So you could actually just sit in the back with a sniper rifle and like shoot these syringes to revive people. So you just sit in the mat. It was so broken. I liked how broken the multiplayer was.
Even like Killzone on the Vita was a visual showpiece too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I also had the terrible isometric one on PSP.
Yeah, that one was rough.
Yeah, I have a soft spot for it. I like it.
This is from Scott saying, going on Jericho Cruise and AEW Full Gear.
Nice. Have fun.
Mr. Awesome says Adol from the E series probably has a better chance of getting into Smash than Sora.
I'd enjoy it more.
Kate says they're probably also going to do a bunch of costumes for Mii Fighters too. So we'll probably see a bunch of those.
Hopefully.
Kate says, hey, Cass, Xbox Era just said Kojima is not working on Silent Hill for Sony. Instead, he's working on an existing IP for Xbox. By the way, only saying this so Xbox lost PlayStation 1's V card activates. One clown emoji.
It's not enough clowns.
We have Great saying been really enjoying Kena Bridge of Spirits lately, but can't stop thinking that Ember Labs needs to make a Star Fox adventure. I went in a completely different direction than I was expecting. What would you guys think of a Star Fox adventure in that art style?
I'd be interested in the staff combos.
That could work.
I understood that reference.
Xavier says, hope everyone has a safe traveling to Too Many Games and can't wait to see you there. Best weekend in a long time. I think everyone's just ready to like go to a convention again. Just a gaming convention. It's been a long time. I think what was it 2019 was the last one? Yeah. I think it was, yeah.
Fringe and I were at PAX East in 2020.
Oh yeah, that was like the very last one. Before everything.
Right before everything shut down. We were walking around PAX East. Sony had pulled out. Everyone had to wear the masks and stuff, and we were there. Man, the last week of February, going into the first few days of March, and all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, the whole country just shut down.
Yeah.
I think I saw Fringe early February in Washington for Katsucon, and then everything shut down right after.
Creative says, I'm going to get hate for this. What is a video game in a franchise that you didn't like or hated? Mine is Star Fox Command from the Star Fox franchise.
Whoa.
Like Phil and immediate like
would
shot.
have a word with you.
I mean, early God of War can suck all the dicks.
Wow, I love it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, he probably would. So.
Interesting.
Jordan's not here. I'm going to say Borderlands. No, for real. Oh shit!
He has speakers in VG.
He's got the wireless headphones. Can hear the hate from a distance.
It came out of nowhere.
I know, I've tried to get into Borderlands so many times. I just can never get into that game. I don't know why.
It's good with friends. I feel like the jokes are good, but I feel like the jokes land better if it's you and a friend in the mood for it.
And this is from Marky Muck says, when's the next season of Jim Ryan's Hell's Kitchen? This is from Sir C. Julius says, final Smash characters will be Sakurai. You know what? He wants to put himself in there. Go for it.
That's my biggest hope. Not even joking. My biggest hope is to be Sakurai. I mean, he deserves it.
Yeah.
Then we have, Cersei Julius then says, have any of you guys tried Eastward on Switch? Love the aesthetic. Might have to scoop it up.
I think there's a physical version coming.
I wanted the physical copy, but I was like, I do want to play this game too, though. Like they keep doing this. It happens with so many games now. Like, it's out now. Physical copy will be out in like 4 months. It's like, what am I supposed to do with that? Just why? Like, what is this?
Well, have you seen a couple times now where companies will actually say we're releasing a digital version of the game and we're not doing physical short? Like they now I've seen a couple times where people are like, hey, buy our game now and hopefully we'll do a physical in the future, but please don't wait on that. Please buy the game. Yeah.
Nintendo Eric says Metroid Dread, Super Monkey Ball, and Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl all released this week. Going to be an expensive week, but fall break will be fun.
Sure.
Luigi says this episode of Spawncast brought to you by Nutella.
I don't eat that either.
I had it once recently.
What do you put on your bread?
Like tuna fish.
At breakfast time.
All right, good man.
I don't eat breakfast. I don't eat breakfast. So I can't eat breakfast.
Do you put tuna fish?
No, I'll just have plain toast.
What do you hating on breakfast for?
I can't eat breakfast.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I'm never hungry in the morning.
Yeah, sometimes I don't eat till I don't have my first meal till like 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
What?
Jesus.
Yeah, but we have to remember Sean doesn't wake up till like 1.
No, I usually, it depends. Sometimes I'll wake up at like 9. Sometimes I'll wake up at like 12. Like, it just depends.
Bachelor YouTube live right there.
Yeah, really.
Hopefully, YouTube gamer, that game you have to play now has that feature. Wake up at noon, don't eat.
Oh yeah.
Console fan.
YouTube Life.
What is it called?
YouTube Life 2, right?
YouTuber Life 2.
Wait, you have to play a game? What? On your streaming channel?
I said I'd make a video on it.
Interesting. Okay.
Coming October 19th.
Okay. You sound excited about it.
Yeah. How much is this shit?
You haven't bought it yet?
No.
Was that? Oh, that was your light goal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Why can't I see the price on Steam?
It's so bad. It doesn't want you to know.
We're gonna play with microtransactions.
Console fanboy says my 2 favorite YouTubers on one show, Misclick and RGT85. I'm so happy right now.
Thank you.
No.
Look at us.
All of you.
Man.
$40. God damn.
You know, that's basically the opposite of when it's like, I love everybody, and also Nate, it's like, hey, I only love RGT and Misclick.
Yeah, they got you for those. They got you that $40.
Yeah, how's it feel to be me, everyone else?
Didn't get the invite.
Exactly.
Jake says, play Limp Bizkit. Don't elaborate any further. Leave.
Oh my god, that's
No,
so
you say
good.
bullshit, and then you play Limp Bizkit.
It's something so much funnier that he's blasting Limp Bizkit out of his phone. Like, that's such a douchebag move specifically. I love it.
First album's
Get
good.
off with a nookie. Bullshit.
This is
God,
from
that game sucks.
Geeky Gaming Family, who says there's a Glassdoor review in 2019 that has an employee talking about Retro Studios having worked on a third DKC before being told to move to Metroid Prime 4.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's correct or not. There you go.
Glassdoor reviews aren't always verified, so it can
I
be
was gonna
anybody who
say.
actually posts it.
Yeah,
That is
there's
true. Yeah, you can pretty much put a review of any company on Glassdoor. At least the last time I checked, you could. I don't know if that's changed.
Mark says, good night, everyone. Big fan of everyone. Dreamcast guy are excited for Final Fantasy VII First Soldier. Also, Miss Click, will you review Metroid Dread or make a playthrough?
So I've played a bit of Final Fantasy VII First Soldier. It's really not for me. Something about a Final Fantasy battle royale, like the weird mix of guns and magic, and the whole thing takes place in like a hologram of Midgar. It's like, it's such a great idea, but I don't. It does not work for me. Maybe when it comes to console controls will probably help it.
You doing a Dread playthrough, Click?
Yeah, I'll be doing that when I get back from too many games.
Awesome. Celtiverse says, I've had a satisfied grip since day one. Considering another grip for the OLED, or should I go for the Ori split pad?
It's very confused for a second.
The Ori split pad's pretty good though.
Or you could do the I don't have it here. The
Pro Controller attachment.
Yeah, what the fuck is the name of that thing?
You look so lost right now, Sean.
I am. It bothers me when I
You're
can't.
blown away with the $40 right now.
I really am.
That $40 hit you really hard.
I thought it was gonna be like 20. What the fuck is it
regret
called?
making that challenge now.
How many likes did they have to get it?
I did low. It was only like 4,000.
Yeah, should have done like
10.
40,000.
I'm doing 10 next time.
We have Matt Jansen, a little dancing sticker here. Jason,
the fixture S1.
there you go.
I think
Jason,
a dancing sticker should have a dancing reaction.
Jason says, "What gaming reference will be on your what?" Jason says, "What gaming reference will be on your tombstone?"
Mistakes were made.
That's a good one.
I do kind of want a Dreamcast logo on my tombstone. That console defines so much of my life.
I don't know. I haven't thought about my death.
That's pretty deep.
I just figured it'll come eventually.
Just throw me in the trash.
Yeah.
No, I want like a big gold statue made in my honor.
Oh my god.
That's not gonna happen, buddy. We'll build it in Minecraft.
Sean wants like a mausoleum and everything.
Yeah.
He didn't tell you what the gold statue needed to be of, but yeah.
A big old dick. Yeah.
I guess you could literally just put game over restart.
Yeah, that'd be cute.
Countdown.
All your friends are dead. Game over.
Strawman says, I'd like to see Zelda 2 get a remaster with a 2D anime style like Wario Land Shake It, since we've gotten an anime link in the Palutena Smash trailer. Victor says, just got a PS5, finished Final Fantasy VII Remake, and now playing Infamous. What game should I play next?
Infamous 2.
Okay, so yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake, then you have Infamous. Well, I assume this is Infamous through the PlayStation Collection thing they have.
So play Infamous 2,
so
complete whatever's been told of Cole's story up to this point, and then play Infamous Second Son.
Yes.
Well, I assume because they just got a PS5, they're playing Infamous Second Son right now. They just said Infamous.
Oh,
well, then that changes things. Well, then go get Infamous 1 and Infamous 2.
But that doesn't work on the PS5.
Buy a PS3.
Then play Ghost of Tsushima.
But they just got a PS5.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima.
Download RPCS3. You'll be good. You'll be right.
Gosh.
The PlayStation 5 version of Ghost of Tsushima is practically photorealistic. I highly recommend. Even if you've beaten the game before, it's worth it.
It is very good. Yeah, it is good. I'm going to go with Ghost. Ghost good. This is from Lawrence says, MVG, is it true that every Aussie has 10 kangaroos ready to mess up the haters? Love the show. Thanks for providing entertainment while I'm at work.
I got 10 kangaroos at the ready.
There you go. Shinru says, hey, MVG, I know you and Night Dive Studio make remastered classic games. Do you guys have original games under your belt? Would love to know. Thanks.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. We'll keep an eye on that. Let's see. Slang says, if The Wizard was remade, pick your Super Mario Bros. 3, PG, etc. Oh, the game shown there, I guess the rating, etc. Like what was
rated X? Fucking, it's a porno now.
What?
Yeah, he said I can make it.
It's a new use of the glove then.
But what game is being revealed?
This Dick 64. I don't know.
What was the question?
Jesus.
It was
Halo Infinite.
If The Wizard was remade, pick the Super Mario Bros. 3, the one that is debuted in the movie. Like that was where we first saw it. And I guess the rating, it says PG, the rating, as well.
Okay. So we can make a movie, and that's why Sean's making this Dick 64.
Apparently, yeah. Okay, moving on. Ryan says, I would like to retract my Deathloop Game of the Year statement from about 2 weeks ago. The ending was trash, ruined it for me. I agree, the ending was not very good. That actually hurt the game for me.
All that time you put into the game not to feel satisfied.
Was the ending that bad that it just dragged the score down?
Yeah,
really?
I think so.
It's very abrupt and very unsatisfying.
Yep, I would say it was not a good ending. Unless I'm missing, unless there's some 100% secret ending I'm missing.
I'm still planning on picking it up like Black Friday. I'm sure it's going to be like half off.
I think the experience was fun and good, and it was interesting there. But then the whole time it feels like there's this build up towards what's going to happen when you break the loop, and it wasn't great. So there you go.
You just walk out or something.
Anticlimactic. Yes. I'm not going to say what it was. Yes. But yes.
Yes. They literally build it up like it's this gigantic thing, and you basically just literally do a peace sign and walk out.
This is from. Oh gosh, this is from one video game dude. Miss Click, I'm trying to ask a girl out. Should I do it via text or phone call? I'm legit new to this.
In person.
Here's what you did, buddy.
Oh no.
Oh, God.
If you see them in person often, yeah. If you communicate through like phone, like if you're comfortable with phone calls, like sometimes just being like, hey, like you want to go get something, like that's fine. But if you see them often, tell them in person.
Okay, I think Click gave a very reasonable answer there. Now let's hear what Sean has to say.
Just swipe the direction on the phone the app tells you to.
No, you got to go with the law of probability here. You got a 50-50 chance. You just whip it out. 50% chance that she's curious about it. 50% chance she slaps you in the face. But you got to take that risk sometimes in life.
I would go with Miss Click.
You don't want to go with Sean's get canceled plan?
At the right.
Literally do anything but what Sean said.
Oh my God. Is this the last episode? My God.
50-50 chance.
What kind of fucking math?
It's been a good run.
JK, LOL right now, please, Sean.
But I don't lie to my audience.
Please,
we have a lot of fun here on
Spawncast.
Spawncast.
Save you. Please just say haha.
50-50.
Oh my god.
The Spawncast 300 shirt's just gonna say 50-50 on it. That's it.
If you make a 50-50 shirt, I'm buying it.
Getting the 300, Evan. You don't have to do anything.
It's a 50-50 chance we come back next week at this point.
You know what? That would actually make I bet you that'd be a really good selling shirt too. Just say 50-50 on the front now after that. There you go, Sean.
I just love the preamble too. If she's maybe she's curious.
You got it one video game, dude. Just
follow the other advice.
Oh my god.
Maybe mix the two advices together. See what you come up with.
Meet her in person and go, how do you feel about this dick? I got this new game I'm working on called This Dick 64. You're really gonna like the twist at the end.
I hate you guys so much. I hate it here.
Gilbert says, hi everyone, sorry I'm late. Just got done walking for 24 hours.
Huh?
Oh, no one has my energy, and the best part is I'm a gamer now, so need to roast OJ. He is next. I roasted RGT85.
Is that the dick drawing guy?
It's Gilbert Legend Gaming.
No, it's not the dick drawing guy. That's Skittles.
I like that guy.
He's doing the whole cast.
Yeah, he said he's roasting us. I haven't seen any roasts though, so I guess.
Yeah, I think next week we're going to see another Skittles drawing of one of the cast members as a giant penis.
Well, there's a 50-50 chance, yeah.
What?
It's not wrong.
There's a guy who watches us, and because we had the Manscaped sponsorship last week on Nate the Hate, he was inspired to draw MVG, myself, and members of the Spawncast as a phallus. And he drew Sean, and instead of having Nicks on the hat, it says Dicks. And I have to say the drawing of Sean is pretty good.
It's fairly accurate. I shared it.
He's got the best smile, just the biggest smile. Never seen a man so happy to be a dick.
Pack says, I'm going to too many games for the first time this year. Tips and tricks.
Bathe.
Deodorant. And you know what you got to do?
Is not a bath.
You got to walk because there's going to be a lot of people there. Walk like how you would walk when you go to New York City. I don't know if you've ever been to New York City or any big city in general. Whenever I'm there, just like walk with your shoulders out. And like, if you bump into someone, you give them a dirty look. You don't let them give you the dirty look. Just act like you run the fucking floor and then you'll be fine.
Man, I wish that worked for me. Jeez.
Right. I mean, you're treating it like it's prison. Like, all right, when you get inside, here's what you got to do. Fight the biggest guy.
My suggestion is do at least one lap around the marketplace before you start buying stuff.
True. Yes.
People will just start buying stuff immediately at that marketplace. But what'll happen is you'll have one vendor selling like this GameCube game for $30, then one over there will be selling it for like $22, and you'll buy it there and then go over there and realize, oh, I overpaid for this. So I would give a nice like hour-long look around the marketplace before you spend any money.
And sometimes you can get really good deals on Sundays.
Yes, exactly. Sunday's good too. If you're there all 3 days, definitely take a look around. Like midway through Sunday, people will start kind of packing up, and they're like, I gotta pack all this stuff up. They might actually start doing bundle deals or just giving you discounts in general. So that's my advice.
There was a guy once who sold me a bunch of Shenmue promotional art for $10, and he gave me like all the original standees and shit.
And this is from Will saying, oh, RGT, do you ever go to local wrestling matches? I went to support my buddy at the NWF, and it ended up being super fun.
No, there was one near me though. Just the other day, my buddy was showing me pictures. He's like, "Why aren't you here?" I was like, "What do you mean?" And they had like Shane Douglas there. They had Danhausen was there. What's funny?
You have Peyronie's disease in the image Fringe just posted.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
This is from Christian saying, "Let's get Donkey on the cast since we all love him." I would have Donkey on here.
Morning, got some gabagool.
Knack 3, baby.
Ashoka says Dreamcast guy should change his name to Saturn guy.
You know, I filmed a April Fool's joke where I did that, and I never posted it because I was afraid people would be too literal about it.
Evan, we have Discord questions left over there.
With us finally getting a hint of the progression system in Pokemon Legends, do you think it will be enough to keep you engaged?
I hope.
I don't know what Legends is gonna have.
It's so different for what they've tried before. It's gonna be one of those things where we're gonna have to get it and then we can really go over it, because like at first it was like, oh, you're gonna be just exploring a lot, and that's gonna be the big thing. Now they're doing progression. They're talking about the town you're in, showing off their and I think we just gotta get this and see what Game Freak came up with here, because we've never really seen it before.
Yeah.
And last one, Bayonetta looked visually impressive, performed really well. Do we think it was running natively on a Switch, or did Bayonetta disappear for a longer period of time because it was they realized stronger hardware was needed in order to give it that vision?
Native Switch.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, all right.
Race to Halo, let's go.
Jeffrey says, "Be careful about the New World killing 3090s click." Is that still a thing?
That the news about that was that the first generation of 3090s had bad capacitors on the back, and New World pushed it hard enough that it caused problems. Later 3090s don't.
Okay. Monroe says Pokemon celebrations in 6 days. Brace yourselves.
Okay.
Sylvester says, I say RGT has to eat a PB&J if Metroid Dread sells 5 million copies.
Okay.
There you go. All right.
Clip it.
Well, what do I get if it doesn't? When it doesn't, I should say.
A regular peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah, you get to just eat plain peanut butter.
Lucius says the Gigabyte M32U is 800 on Newegg and can do 4K 120 on the Xbox Series X. It's HDMI 2.1. Gigabyte M32U. There you go. Thank you, Lucius. Brandon says, what are each of your picks for the final Smash characters? We actually went over that, Brandon, a bit earlier. Mr. Awesome says, at the final Smash character, who do you think it is, Nate? Go ahead. Do that.
No, I was going to do something, but I then said I shouldn't do this.
Why? Because you're going to give too much away for what the final Smash character is?
No, I was going to make my icon the Sean drawing.
Oh, yeah.
No, that'd be good.
No. Yeah. Mr. Austin says, after the final Smash character, do you think Nintendo will eventually release an Ultimate Edition with every character on the cartridge?
Yes.
I kind of think they will, because they did that with DLC they did it for Breath of the Wild in Japan.
Yeah, but talk about Smash here. The difference is that when you write up the licensing agreements for characters used for DLC, it is strictly for DLC, so they'd have to restructure the contracts to include a retail release of those characters being featured, and then the royalty exchange between the licensee and Nintendo would differ, so it would require a whole lot of work to actually make that happen.
Gotcha. Okay. Strawman says, what the final Smash fighter comes with missing Smash stages, like Pokefloats, music, more Mii fighters than usual, etc., to make a grand ending. They could probably, I could see that. I think that's possible, but we'll see. We'll see on Tuesday. Parker says, I hope whoever had not gotten a chance to play Halo does. Like Sean. Moments like ones in Halo 3 are truly special to experience. Made me fall in love with piano. Marky Muck says, breakfast is a corporate scam.
I agree.
Mini Ninja says, what's your favorite video game main menu?
I do have a soft spot for the old original World of Warcraft login screen with like the song is called The Drums of War. I love that.
Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly. Yeah, that's a good one.
I still like Star Fox Assault main menu theme. It's a jam. It's a bop.
Ocarina of Time.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Theme. You watch Link go across Hyrule Field.
I thought that was main. Oh, you mean title screen? Are you talking about title screen?
Yeah, the main menu. Like
that
when you go to pick.
That is a good one.
Yeah, new game and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then we have Marky Muck says 50% are good odds. There you go. Shadow Nexus says Prototype 3 needs to exist. And Chief says, when do you think Square Enix will show Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2? I feel like with Final Fantasy 16 and Origins being developed right now, it might be years before we see Part 2. I kind of think it's going to be like a year and a half, 2 years.
I think we might see it teased next year, but I think Square Enix has realized stepping on their own toes is bad. So it seems like from the TGS, it sounds like they're focusing on this big expansion for Final Fantasy 14, then 16, then Origins, somewhere in there before after 16, and then 7.
Maybe.
Yeah. Nick says Metroid Prime 2 is my favorite of the Prime trilogy. Nathan says on your tombstone it's 50-50. There you go, Sean. Strawman says, I'm telling you, put that on a shirt, Sean. There you go. 50-50, just with like the little fraction slash in between. Strawman says the odds RGT would like PB and J are 50-50. Bench says, what should I play? Grandia HD Collection or emulate Skies of Arcadia?
I think Grandia Collection because it's both the games and they fit together so well. Do Grandia first.
I would say 50-50, flip a coin. You got that wrong.
Burst says, first night I catch it a while. Now I'm wondering when Sean will get his 2+ hour docu-series that cancel him while he continues to make videos.
I think I'm pretty Teflon at this point, I feel.
I mean, I'll do 50-50 on that anyway. So.
Yeah, right.
It's terrible.
Shinru says, Shinru says, found a thread on Twitter. Someone said there should be skippable boss fights. Kind of misses the point, especially in RPGs. Thoughts?
No.
People say stupid shit on Twitter.
I don't know. Why did you want to skip the boss fight? Are you building up to the boss fight to then beat the boss with everything you've gained, whether it's experience points, levels, weapons, all that stuff?
It's a pay attention to me thing. Like, let me say something stupid to get likes.
All right, let's go around here. MVG, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Modern Vintage G and on YouTube at Modern Vintage Gamer. And thanks for having me on.
Let's go to Sean. Where can everyone find you?
You got a 50-50 chance of finding me on RGT85. New video tomorrow. Make sure you guys check it out. Talking 10 Sega Genesis games that have not been announced for Switch Online and are not available on the Classics collection that I would like to see on Switch Online.
It's a long title.
It won't be the title.
This is from Liam over on Streamlabs saying, I think The Last Fighter is Sora because of the Disney music leak and because when OJ said he knew who The Last Fighter was and you guys asked him if it was a sword fighter, he kind of with Sora using a keyblade. I could see why he would say that. Alv says to MVG and Nate, when Bloomberg says 4K games, do they mean native or upscaled? If the next model indeed uses DLSS, shouldn't they continue with 1080p? Or does this imply DLSS still needs prep work? Could the ARM chip in the new dock be updated to upscale?
What the 4K means is that it just has 4K support, and that would be mostly in the case of DLSS upscaling. There could be some native 4K games if we're talking about something like a Hollow Knight. It just means that 4K will be supported, whereas we look at the current gen Switch has no 4K support of any kind.
Okay. And Miss Click, where can everyone find you?
Yeah, thanks for having me. You can find me here on YouTube as MissClick Gaming, or you can find me on Twitch where I'm live almost every day. Oh, sorry, at MissClick_live, or you can find me on Twitter, Instagram as MissClick.
This is from Zippo. Hey, all, thanks for the coverage. John, always shocked to appear on the channel. I'm playing Metroidvanias in anticipation for Dread. Any recommendations? Hollow Knight?
Aria of Sorrow.
Yep. Now, and the new one, Fist. That on the PS4 and PS5. I would check that out.
Bloodstained, but not on the Switch. It's a good one.
There you go. What about Max? Where can everyone find you?
YouTube.com/Dreamcast guy. Huge week coming up. I'm going to be talking about freaking Alan Wake Remastered. I'm working on that video. Of course, we're going to have Far Cry 6, which I won't be talking about because who gives a crap, and Metroid Dread.
This is from one video game dude says, I'll take Miss Click's advice with all due respect. RGT85, nothing really whipped other than Simon's Weapon and Castlevania Advance.
That's how you got to treat it, though, you know?
Smart man. Smart man.
And then Anthony says, what's celebrities would you like to roast you?
Bob Saget.
None.
Yeah,
Punch him in the face. Fuck off. I hate celebrities.
Yeah, I'm actually with that guy.
And Truly Epic asks, what happened to Spawncast clips uploads? Well, a little bit of a break for it right now, but we'll get back to them here in a bit. I might start uploading some stuff to that too. I have some other stuff planned for it too, so keep an eye on it. Jordan, where can everyone find you?
You can find me in the YouTube channel, Jordan Fringe. Starting next week, I have 3 videos a week for the rest of the year coming out. So, yeah, if you like older cartoons and TV shows, check it out.
I like those. Okay, I'll check them out. And who am I missing? Am I missing Nate? Nate,
yes.
Did I get you? Okay,
No,
Nate, go ahead. Go ahead, Nate.
You can find me on YouTube at Nate the Hate or on Twitter at Nate the Hate, followed by the number 2. Early next week, MVG and I will be deep diving the Bloomberg versus Nintendo versus Skyers versus Zynga controversy and delving into what exactly the 4K Switch is and how Nintendo will be positioning it for release in late 2022, early 2023.
Okay, and then what about Evan?
You can find me on Twitter at Kimrick's Project. If I'm going live on Twitch, that's where I'll announce it.
Okay. Thanks everyone for joining.
This girl thought I had a second belly button. RGT's advice sucks.
Oh my fuck. Instantly shut it down. We can't even. That's the end.
Thanks for watching.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Thanks everyone for watching the Spawncast. We'll be back not next week, the week after, because we will be at too many games next weekend. So if you're in Oaks, PA, make sure you guys come on, check us out there. We'll see you guys then.
What the hell?
Poor guy.